It's really interesting and really fun, and his book is really helping along the way too, because I grew up with both sides of political stance in my house, and it's really interesting hearing both sides at all times. So
he's a good professor in terms of telling both sides of...
Yes, extremely. He's really, really good at teaching, and he loves to actually put both sides because he always tries his best to not put bias, because bias can turn any sort of the situation into a really bad conversation.
And have you read Professor Mounce's book?
I've read a few chapters here and there, yes. I like skimming books before I do a full deep dive.
What do you think so far?
It's really nice, and it's kind of like a homey book. You kind of want to just grab a I don't know, cup of coffee or a cup of hot chocolate with it and just read it. And I personally like annotating, and I like writing little notes in it just to make it more I guess factual, and at the same time I can go back and be like, okay, yeah, this is what I wanted to think about when I read this part. And so far it's been a blast. So yeah.
That's a great endorsement. And you like it? You are happy that it's part of your coursework as well?
Yes.
You're not just reading it because you enjoy the subject. You're going to critique it and you answer. You're going to be examined on the book, I guess.
Yes. And another thing is, it's also in courteous of him, he's kind of also teaching me a little Spanish here and there. My Spanish is not the best, even though my dad's Mexican. But yeah, it's helping me along the way in other ways rather than just being political. So
can you hear battery?
Yeah, as I said with the previous student and asking that question, although there's some stories in there purely about politics, what I enjoyed is because Gary taught in Mexico, the stories of his life in Mexico is fascinating for me.
Yeah, he had said that he worked in Mexico, and he also worked in other places all around the world, like Germany, Spain, and I think a few other places. I don't remember.
Brazil.
Brazil, yeah. And he would talk about immersion and how not just learning like words here and there, but trying to deep dive yourself into that culture rather than learning by a textbook. Because for some people, that's the better way to learn. And for me especially, like I like going for a deep dive version of learning, because you get a bigger amount of that like product in a way, and you understand it more because you have more of it in front of you.
Can you recommend the book? Would you recommend the book to a student, a friend of yours in this college or in other colleges that may not be interested in politics? They may not be studying politics, but would this be a good book to read just in general?
Yes, of course. And at the same time, you can also read these stories not just for the political content. It's also a little funny here and there. There's certain things and certain like little practical mistakes that people make on a day-to-day basis that make this really humane.